Hello there, everyone. How you doing on this terrific Thursday? It's November the 30th of 2023. That means tomorrow is Friday, December 1st in the year 2023. Yep, time keeps flying by. Yep, I'm going to talk a little bit today about the accumulation effect. E-F-F-E-C-T. And with that being said, I'm Mazske Finance. I am not a financial advisor by any means at all. I'm not a CPA, I'm not an attorney, I'm definitely not a doctor, and I'm not a nutritionist. Even though over the past few years, I've had folks reach out to me and say I should become a financial advisor, and I've had folks reach out saying I should get into the healthcare profession. Nope. Mazske is financially independent. He's fine just walking on beaches, swimming in his swimming pool that's right there, meeting fellow Americans, Canadians, Europeans, Hispanics, Colombians, Argentinians, Venezuelans, Spaniards, French, South Africans, etc., etc. I've met all the above and more while I've been living here in the country of Panama. You ever heard the Van Halen song? Panama. Yep. So what do I mean by the accumulation effect? Well, a couple things here. It's two main topics I want to talk about where accumulation really has an effect on accumulating more. The first one is money. We all like money, don't we? Why do we work? We work for money. We want a paycheck. It's very rare you find any individual who truly does not care about money. You may hear someone give lip service to it. Money's the root of all evil. This and that. Churches may do that. But at the same time, what are they doing? Holding out their hand, putting out their bucket, donations, tithes, etc., etc., etc. Everyone, no matter who you are, everyone wants money. Some of us only want a little bit. Some of us want more. Some of us just want enough to get by. Some of us want to accumulate masses and piles of wealth. Where do you fall in this camp? Let me know below. So with that being said, what is Mazske talking about? The accumulation effect. All right, let me explain to you as I sip on my cup of green tea. All right, a couple things. As you start, as an example, saving your cash up in a high yield savings account. Maybe you're getting 5%. 5% isn't 10%, but it's not less than 1%. So say you're getting 5%. When you only have $200 in an account, it accumulates very slowly. But say you get 2,000, say you get 10,000, say you get 20,000. The accumulation picks up a little bit more, that 5%. Because what happens is it pays 5%. The next time it pays, it's compounding on top of that 5%. I think it was Albert Einstein who said, or was it Mark Twain? Albert Einstein. One of them said that compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. It is. Compound interest. Seems warm in this little casita I'm in. The AC might not be quite blowing cold enough as of yet. I just walked into this building. It's been shut up for a couple of days. So anyway, with that being said, real estate. You have the compound effect or the accumulation effect. You buy one rental house. You worked hard. You saved up the money. It might take you 5 years. Okay, don't be in a rush. You get that first rental house. And then when you get it, you ran your numbers correctly. You start getting positive cash flow. Your tenant is paying you rent, which means you're paying down your mortgage, which means the equity that you own accumulates month after month. And that positive cash flow, while holding out for vacancy repairs, capital expenditures, and while paying your mortgage, which includes principal, interest, taxes, insurance, the money compounds. It accumulates. So it might take you 5 years to get that first house. Maybe you get that second one in 3 years. Maybe you get the third one in 18 months. Maybe you get the fourth one in a year, because each time you're getting more positive cash flow and it's accumulating. And as you purchase another asset, it accumulates a little faster. I've been on a roll here the past 2-3 years. Besides accumulating real estate, I've accumulated mineral rights acreage. I'm up to, not officially yet, I still got some money in, but I got to sign what's called the PSA first, and they haven't sent that out yet. But I'm up to getting my 29th I think, acre of mineral rights acreage. That's a subject for another topic. Okay, but I'm accumulating. It's the same thing I'm doing with drinking this daily cup of green tea. I usually don't drink just 1 cup of tea a day. Some days I drink 2. Some days I drink 3. Some days I drink 5. It may not be all green tea either. It may be a couple different types of green tea. It might be black tea. It might be chamomile tea. But I always, at a bare minimum, have a single cup of green tea a day. I may have 2. Like I said, I may have 3. I accumulate. All right, because your health also accumulates. The damage that you do when you eat that hot dog, when you eat that piece of bacon, when you eat that Twinkie, when you eat that piece of cake, when you eat that piece of pie, when you eat that cookie, it all accumulates in there. It's just something little done to our cells, to our stomach, to our intestines, to our gut bacteria. It accumulates. And as it accumulates, more and more damage can be done. Or if you're eating more correctly, more fruits, more vegetables, more fiber. Plants have fiber, meat doesn't have fiber. I do eat meat, okay? Don't take me wrong, I eat meat. I had eggs this morning for breakfast. Along with, in the eggs, was red onion, red pepper, 6 or 7 garlic cloves. What am I forgetting? Oh, mushrooms. I love mushrooms. I put mushrooms in there. I think I put 7 mushrooms in there, little brown mushrooms, whatever they're called. I had spices. I had black pepper. I had turmeric. Turmeric is anti-inflammatory. I love turmeric. It's anti-inflammatory. I had some ginger. I love ginger. It's anti-inflammatory. I had some oregano, some thyme, some sage, some pink Himalayan salt. In my 2.5 cups of coffee today, I had black pepper, turmeric, ginger, and cinnamon in those cups of coffee. I have like 4 cloves and some cinnamon down this green tea as well, because it all accumulates. It accumulates. You may Google, if you so desire, stem cell therapy. With stem cell therapy, you can read about some of the magic that's happening in the various places in the world, including here in the country of Panama, with stem cell therapy treatment for a variety of reasons, okay? At the same time, because it takes a little bit of money to get stem cell therapy. So at the same time, what can you do to improve your own stem cells? You got them in your bones, you got them in your body. What can you do? You ever heard of telomeres? Telomeres? They're little things, that's probably, I'm magnifying it, they're probably like that big, that are in your stem cells. The older a person gets as they age, your telomeres, and I'll exaggerate the size of them, get shorter. It's been shown in a variety of people. People that have died of COVID, their telomeres many times are very short. When someone dies from an accident when they're 80 and they've been healthy all their life and extremely healthy, their telomeres are longer. Okay? You can control the length of your telomeres, and I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, but you can control the length from how you live your life. You can eat certain foods that will help to strengthen them. You can drink certain drinks. You can minimize your stress. I got a bed next to me. You can learn to sleep better. You can learn to relax. Do a little deep breathing. If you have a job and you get woken up at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning to get called out to work, trust me, I've been there. I've been there. I've done it many times. I did it in the Navy. I was a supervisor. I was a leading petty officer up in Cutler, Maine, where if that transmitter went down, we had a VLF transmitter, very low frequency. It transmitted as far from Maine to the Mediterranean Sea to submarines underwater over there. Mission critical, top secret. If that transmitter went down, that first phone call they made was to mazske. I can remember my wife would laugh at me sometimes because I'd answer the phone. I'm mumbling. I'd be like, can you explain that again? I didn't quite catch it because I was in my 20s back then. It'd take a while. I was in a dead slumber. It'd take me a while to wake up. Okay? But it all accumulates. Your health and your wealth accumulate. A lot of Americans do not save any money. They do not live paycheck. They live paycheck to paycheck. They don't have any left over at the end of the pay period. A lot of Americans eat very unhealthy. Most Americans eat very unhealthy. There's only something like 5% of Americans get the appropriate amount of fiber on any given day. It's very small, whatever that percentage is. It's very small. Okay? So it's the same thing with wealth. It's the same thing with health. You got to get started. I have harped on this over and over and over. I've had guests on my channel that have brought up this topic. You just got to get started. If you start saving your cash in the high yield savings account or in some fashion, don't put it in the stock market because you're saving up to buy a house or something like that. Save it where it's safe, but it's getting 5% or better of interest, and add to it. Learn your market. Learn how to buy that first rental house. I have a playlist, 0 to 25 rentals in 4 years. I'm not saying you can do the same as I did, because most people tell me they can't. Most people will say, you keep saying this, and we have high interest rates right now. Everyone can make excuses. There are people right now who are buying 26 units in 2.5 years. There's high interest rates. How are they doing it? Justin was just on my channel. How is he doing it? Watch the video with Justin. He explains how he's doing it just a bit. Okay? And learn. Don't just learn from me. Don't just learn from other YouTubers. Get out. Network. Go to a local real estate meetup group. Read real estate books. I had Chad Carson on my channel the other week. He's written 2 great books, some of the best books I've read on real estate investing. Get his books, Coach Chad Carson. Read Michael Zuber. I may write a book one day. I've written 1 novel in my life, got it published and everything. I may write a book, something on real estate, but I might not. I'm lazy. I don't know. I'm lazy sometimes. So with that being said, the one thing I can do is work on accumulating my wealth, work on accumulating my health, work on accumulating my memories. As I walk on a beach. I walked last night on a beach. It was high tide. Some places we had to scurry along because the waves were coming in, and if we stood in place, water might have been a little bit up my shin, and I was wearing sneakers and socks, and I didn't want to get them all wet. Same for the missus. So we'd have to scurry along to where the beach widened, or the wall. There's always walls there from people with mansions where you could find some steps, and we hop up 2 or 3 steps or something like that, so the water wouldn't suck us in. So same thing today. If it doesn't rain later today, I will probably swim in that pool. When I started swimming in my pool in Florida, I'm a terrible swimmer. And I huff and puff, and I'm a terrible swimmer. But I started, I'd swim a lap. I struggled, I'd stop, I'd rest. And I started swimming 2 laps. Now, I'm swimming about 20 laps sometimes, 15 to 20, but I'm not swimming them consecutively. I may stop and rest just a bit. And then I swim 2 more or 4 more, and I might stop and rest a little bit. But I'm building, I'm accumulating. All right, you do that with exercise. I do push-ups. When I first started doing push-ups a couple years ago, I had done push-ups a long time ago. I topped out in the Navy one time, PT test. I think 67 push-ups were my best. I was a runner back then, so I could always max out on my PT test, max out on the run, get 100 points. I would do 100 crunches, max out on my crunch, that's 200 points. And then I wouldn't always max out on my push-ups. I think that 60-some maxed me out, and I got the 100 points. But I might get 50 push-ups, 55, and I'd end up with one of the higher PT scores usually in my unit. Okay, we had to take a PT test twice a year. All right, so, but everything accumulates, all right? Make the proper decisions now in regards to everything. Make the proper decisions when choosing a partner. Make the proper decision when you get a job. Make the proper decisions when you buy your first house. Make proper decisions when you go to the grocery store and you're shopping. Are you picking out the donuts? Or are you picking out the broccoli? Just make the right decisions. All right? So this is plenty long enough. So the accumulation effect, EFFECT. Can you better understand it now? Compound interest, the 8th wonder of the world. Have you read Mark Twain at all? Have you read about Thomas Edison? Have you read that book by Walter Isaacson about Benjamin Franklin? All right. I met a guy on the beach the other day. I'll tell you this story real quick. I met a guy on the beach the other day. He's Panamanian. He's been to Russia. He's been to Europe. He's been to the U.S. He's been around Panama. And when he asked me my first name and I told him it was Mark, aka Mazske, he said, Mark Twain. Have you read Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer about them and Becky? Tom Sawyer, Huckleberry Finn, and Becky. Tom Sawyer's the name of the book, the first book. That book. Yes, I've read those books, and so did he. We had something else to talk about. Interesting guy. So anyway, with that being said, have a great day. Keep loving life. Drink a cup of green tea. Just relax a bit. Take some deep breaths. All right? Mazskes, signing out.